Welcome back to another video. I was really fortunate a few weeks ago to have been invited to an unveiling as part of an exhibition at McCord Stewart Museum in Montreal. And the item that they were unveiling is probably one of the most iconic dresses of recent history. I want to cast our mind back a couple of years now to Paris in the summer of 2024. The Paris Olympics were just kicking off with the opening ceremony, and you had the River Seine being transformed into a huge performance venue. There were crowds lining the whole stretch of the river from Notre Dame up to the Eiffel Tower. And when it got to the gardens in front of the Louvre Museum, you had this huge balloon that signified the opening of the Olympics and sort of nursed the Olympic flame within it. And as the balloon began to float up into the air, we heard, as an audience all over the world, the first words sung by Céline Dion in, I think, a few years by that point because of the health conditions and concerns that she had. And as the camera pointed towards the Eiffel Tower, we saw the most beautiful Dior dress. And that is what I was really fortunate to have been invited to the unveiling of at the McCord Museum. Céline Dion was born just outside of Montreal, basically on the border of the island, and her husband was born in Montreal. And the McCord Stewart Museum is probably the perfect place for that dress to be showcased following the huge unveiling in front of the whole world on the Eiffel Tower. So it traveled to North America, to Canada, and is currently being presented to the public in not just a traditional showcase of a dress, but it's a showcase of a moment. What the McCord Stewart Museum's team have achieved is phenomenal. When you enter the room that houses the gown, you see this huge glass box where the dress is being held inside of. But alongside that, you have massive screens that present the moment where Céline Dion was singing on the Eiffel Tower. But the light show that they include in that space is spectacular. As you get close to the dress, you can see the level of detail that the Dior couture house is known for. The House of Dior is globally recognized for its craftsmanship and is probably the most detailed atelier that there is in the world. So this dress is, of course, a perfect showcase of what the ateliers at Dior can achieve. And as you get close to the dress, the droplets of beads and shimmer of the spangles and sequins that are on the dress really just sort of jump out of you and come to life. And the silhouette that they've achieved is beautiful. It's like a cascade, it's like a waterfall of fabric and beads, and it's a really captivating shape. It of course had to frame Céline Dion when she was standing all the way on the top, or not on the top, but on the outside of that middle level of the Eiffel Tower. And it had to act as a way of drawing an audience in, from obviously with a camera and a television audience, we had basically front row seats, didn't we? We got really close to what she was doing. But can you imagine the people that were in front of the Eiffel Tower? They still had to be able to see her, even if it was just a tiny little speck of white fabric. It had to be something. And obviously the white fabric was the perfect choice against the dark silhouette of the Eiffel Tower and the evening Parisian sky. So as soon as I entered the room, I was blown away by the striking silhouette of the dress. It demands your attention. And then I spent the rest of the time looking at every single detail that I could. My partner was with me, and we were in that room for quite a while. You get about 10 minutes of a full light show and the moments that Céline Dion was singing, and a slight build up to it as well, and the lights sort of interacting with how she was singing and really bringing that moment to life. And then there was a little bit of time afterwards, which was kind of restricted because there was a lot of people on the staircase waiting to go in, because it was a big event that we were invited to. And we had a little bit of time, and I spent every single second I could getting more pictures and more video of that dress, because it's so incredible, and I wanted to remember as much as I could. And besides the camera work that I was doing, I was just looking at the dress and trying to work it out. Of course, I'm a costume maker, so the first thing I really wanted to do was try and get underneath it, but obviously it's behind a wall of glass, because it's an extremely expensive dress, put it that way. I don't know if we could probably class it as priceless, but the moment was. But the dress itself would be a phenomenal price, so it's of course very well protected. But I wanted to get underneath and see the internal structure and how they were achieving that beautiful striking sweep of the silhouette. The base, I am imagining there's some sort of base in there that really held the structure of that, because the beadwork would be quite heavy in itself. So I imagine it's more than just gravity and the sort of movement of the dress. I imagine there's a bit more something substantial inside that helps the fabric sort of mount in place. Obviously in the exhibition they probably added a bit more padding and a bit more sort of underneath structure to help keep its place and give you the illusion that it's still standing on the Eiffel Tower, you know. But I would be really interested to see the integral, the underneath structure of the dress. I would spend probably just as long, if not longer, on the underneath and the inside workings as I did looking at the outside. But I can promise you it's an absolutely phenomenal dress up close. And if you're lucky enough to be in Montreal while it's on, I waited a little bit to release this because I wanted, obviously, the exhibition when I was invited wasn't quite open. It was opening that weekend, I think, and I wanted obviously to give it a few weeks to get as many people in as possible. But there is lots of images and video of this dress out there, so I have checked that first and made sure that it was okay to get this out into the costume world, because the moment that they captured is exceptional, and I wanted to share the excitement that I had watching it and looking at it, but also it feels strange with a museum piece and a museum setting to just instantly broadcast it, because you want to preserve that feeling and that moment as much as possible. So I've made sure that there's the same sort of footage and everything already out there, so I'm not giving away too many secrets or anything like that. So if you are lucky enough to be in Montreal, please do go and see it. I think it's on for a while longer, But yeah, it's an exceptional dress, absolutely exceptional. So that was a short video today, but I just wanted to share with you that beautiful moment and the craftsmanship that went into such a beautiful gown. I recently went to Ottawa with my partner, and I've been working on a video of studying the costume in statues. And I've spoken loads of times throughout my career on how statues are an excellent way of studying costume and studying not just items of clothing, but the movement of fabric, because it's already an artistic impression that's been preserved. So I'm working on a video at the moment where I'm drawing and studying statues for sort of costume study purposes. So that will be out very soon. And I've got some other things in the works as well, but I just wanted to make sure I got this video out on that beautiful dress. Just a little reminder that if you wanted to support the channel and things that I'm doing further, then I do have a Patreon page, and on there there's a few exclusives. So there's 2 tiers. One is the Stitching Circle, where you get access to all videos and things on YouTube early, and you also get access to my historical costume podcast. And then there is the Pattern Keeper, where you get a monthly PDF historical pattern, and there is access to Mantle magazine as well, which is my little opportunity to get more costume things down in writing, because I can't talk about costume enough. So if you would like to support the channel further, it would be amazing to see you over there. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.